next flight, which took off 45 minutes later, except the plane that I was originally going to get on had a delay and ended up not taking off for another 2 hours. So I ended up ultimately getting to leave earlier, get to my destination faster, and the upgrade included a first class flight. So I got to fly first class and I got $200 redeemable on my next flight. So my gosh, these airlines absolutely hook you up if you take one for the team. Story 3. Only about 20% of the people working here are actually properly competent and really understand what they're meant to be doing, let alone why. Which industry? Every industry. Source? I worked in a variety of jobs, temping across a huge range of industries over the last decade. Edited to add. This doesn't really apply to any kind of position that could be better described as a vocation than a job. Story 4. Monday's chowder is the weekend seafood leftovers. Edit. To answer some questions. Yes, this is just one example of the overall theme in most restaurants. Zero waste. Any veg trimmings, chicken trimmings, beef bones get boiled to stock. Leftover entrees are usually tomorrow's open-faced lunch saving special. Plastic containers are cut in half so everything is able to be scraped out. Second only to quality and consistency of food. Zero waste is the credo to live by. Edit 2. Never really meant this as a bad thing. More so something people don't realize with restaurants. To answer a few questions, no, I've never seen Big Short, so I don't really get the reference. Anthony Bourdain is one of many chefs who will tell you this. He is, in my eyes, one of the best celebrity chefs out there, but any chef will tell you this. Repetition and time management are three key factors in growing as a cook. Yes, corporate restaurants waste a lot of food. They are often sous crazy, as well as make enough revenue from frozen processed dishes that at the end of the day, it's cheaper to throw out than worry about legal ramifications. And last but not least, to the guy who said cutting plastic containers in half is worse for the environment, thank you. I'm still chuckling. Story 5. Hospitals and doctors' office bills in the US can be negotiated, and many will offer huge cash discounts if you pay at the time of service. But once the insurance gets billed, there's much less room for negotiation. If your bill gets applied to the insurance deductible, then the facility, by law, is supposed to collect the full amount that was applied to the deductible from you. Also, if there's a copay, the facility, by law, is supposed to collect that as well. For the average person on a high deductible plan, $1,000 plus, you'd have to get cancer or be in a huge trauma for the insurance to kick in any meaningful payment. Insider advice. When you make an appointment at a doctor's office, ask if they have a point of service discount. Also, if you go to a hospital, don't let them know you have insurance until after they give you the bill. Do the negotiation first, then do the math and see if it's cheaper to pay out of pocket. If not, the facility has 6 months to bill your insurance after the date of service. Story 6. I worked in the grocery business for an embarrassing amount of time, doing everything from unloading trucks to running register to middle management. That empty spot on the shelf? The product is not in the back. It never will be in the back. Most stores today have adopted a truck-to-shelf model to streamline various things. The back room is used for special items, sales, and the like. If regular product is sitting back there, then something has gone wrong with the ordering process. That clerk you asked is going to go back there, stand beside the door, and play on their phone for a minute. They have neither the time nor the energy to navigate the maze of the back room for a product that shouldn't be back there. So next time you wonder, how come nothing's ever in the back? It's because the business model has changed to be that way. Edit. Alright, I get it. But that's not true at my store. My inbox is full of that. I'm just saying, I worked at 3 separate stores for just shy of a decade, and they were all either truck to shelf or aggressively moving towards that model. In simple terms, it allows for cost reduction by reducing the size of the night shift and eliminating some morning stock positions as well. Having overstock sitting in the back and becoming forgotten is not very cost efficient. Edit 2. I realized that fresh departments, dairy, meat, etc., usually have fresh stuff out back. That's because they need to have product constantly rotating out to stay up to date. I tend to not think of fresh departments because most of my time was dealing with proper grocery, what I guess you'd call dry goods. I also realized that bread and beer are the same way. But guess what? Outside vendors come in and deal with bread and beer. I never had to even remotely touch the stuff in the years of working in the business, so I don't really count that. Story 7. Whether this is known by the general public is probably debatable. I suppose many people have had this thought at some point, or have had bad experiences. But the truth is far worse than most people suspect. A lot of industry professionals are completely idiots. Lawyers, doctors, financial specialists, brokers, engineers, architects, chemists, and bankers, even IT. And I don't mean in a what a moron kind of way. I mean, they're dangerously stupid, lacking in common sense or the usual degree of awareness most humans employ in their daily lives. And how they manage to secure full-time employment is utterly baffling. Most of them simply do not care anymore. They've completely checked out. Their minds shut down the day they obtain their license, certification, contract, position, or whatever. They just phone it in, day after day. Always look up professionals' reviews before hiring them. Word of mouth is still the best method of figuring out who to retain. Never give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't be afraid to question them. And never trust them completely. And if they can't handle any of what I just wrote, F them. They're not real professionals. Story 8. If you have a Bank of America credit or debit card and your card gets declined, and you call and find out it was because of a data breach, the fraud department that you speak to is forced by the bank to tell you that they can't see where or when the data breach occurred. But we can see it. It shows us right there on our computer. It's really effing annoying for everyone involved, other than the bank apparently, since they're the ones that enforce this. It's a major problem because your card gets completely shut off right there over the phone, and you have to send in a request to have a completely new card number sent to you. Then you wait about 2 weeks to receive it in the mail and have to change everything you pay your bills on to the new card number. But if you go back into the store with that new card that had the data breach, and they still haven't resolved the problem with the breach, then your card will be shut off again. Rinse and repeat. Please try not to get too angry at the people you talk to on the phone. They don't work at BOA. They're just lowly call center workers, and they're fired if they tell you where it happened. The bank is saving their own ass to not piss off big companies that don't want that info to leak into the public. Story 9. McGraw-Hill makes practically every textbook allowed in America's school. At the end of every year, they throw away the tens of thousands of books for the tax write-off because it's going to a recycling plant. I'm talking textbooks for K through 12, college books of every type, teacher editions, and class sets of short stories and books for kids in the process of learning to read. A normal textbook costs a school 60 to 80 bucks a pop, but they throw enough away to educate every child in Africa. When I worked at the recycling plant, I wasn't allowed to take them because it was considered illegal to distribute them. I truly lost all hope for the future of humanity after that, and quit my job. The place they're sent to is called Medina Recycling in Northeast Ohio. I seriously want to find a way to make this big news and trash McGraw-Hill all over it. It is also a 2-month period that is Medina Recycling's largest contract for profit. Story 10. In Britain, anyone that watches TV has to buy a TV license. It's how the BBC remains commercial free. Well, for decades, the government has pushed the notion that technology exists in the form of TV detector bands that can tell if a non-licensed payer is watching live TV in some way. As you see from this public information film, it's said they have more powerful detection bands. It would appear that this is total and utter bollocks. What actually happens is the TV license is a form of census, and houses that don't have one are sent letters as rote. The two vans they have to maintain the ruse may be more powerful just because they have engines with more horsepower than the previous two transit vans, and you have the antenna sticking from the roof. This has been a facet of British life for decades. The notion that there's a government department with technicians and drivers and managers that do TV detection. Yet the jobs never get advertised at the job center. Nobody in decades has ever been on a TV game show and given their occupation as TV detector van driver. We have people that served in the most secret parts of the military and government, in company boardrooms that have written tell-all books, but never one from TV detection staff. That's because it's hard to have job vacancies for and interviews from, and exposés of people that don't exist. Story 11. Poultry industry. When hatched, a chick costs 25 cents. Over its lifespan of only about 30 days, it consumes about $1
Come
in
on.
feed, which is the largest cost to the company. The feed. No steroids or anything, just clever selected breeding of breeded birds with oversized breasts, which is where the money is. Within 3 hours, the bird is killed, defeathered, eviscerated, and chilled down to under 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the magical degree at which microbial growth slows or stops. The chilling process takes the longest, nearly 2 hours in super chilled water. That's where up to 5% retained water comes from. Certain companies add chemicals to promote more water retention. Every carcass is USDA inspected. Every single one. Foster Farms has the capacity to process 2 million chickens each day, and they're not even in the top 3 poultry manufacturers. After chilling, the birds are then cut up and packaged except the breast meat, which is aged, which is a fancy term for holding them for at least 16 hours to continue to retain water. That crap is sold at a premium, so more water equals more money. Chicken is good for up to 16 days, depending if the cold chain has been maintained, kept under 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Very little is left to waste. The feet are mostly shipped to China. They can't get enough of them. Blood is used in fertilizer. Feathers are often ground up and fed back to the birds. Look for packaging that reads vegetarian diet or no animal byproducts to avoid that soylent green crap. You know, they say you never want to know how the sausage is made. It's kind of gross. Like, even though you know it's a formality of like preparing meat for consumption. But grinding up the feathers and feeding them back to the chickens, and then, I don't know, that's just, I had no idea. Thanks for sharing. Or not. I could have gone without knowing that. Story 12. Costco refills cartridges for $7. You can usually refill at least twice before you have to buy a new one. FYI, do not buy liquid ink printers if you don't use it a lot. The ink will dry up, your printer head will clog, and you will not get much printing out of it. Despite the initial higher cost of laser printers, it saves you a lot of money in the long term. Laser printers use powder ink and doesn't have any of the clogging or durability problems. The best inkjet I've ever owned is the Canon Pro 100. It's a really good printer and doesn't clog as often. The cleaning cycles on it actually works. It also prints amazing photos relative to its price, including black and white. The ink cartridges on it lasted far longer than I expected. Still crap compared to laser printers. The color accuracy on it is almost spot on out of the box. If you're just looking for a cheap laser printer without all the features, look into the Brother brand. It does very well with printing reliably for being so cheap. HP Instant Ink is mentioned. It will save you money on color photos since it goes by page counts. $5 for 100 pages, $10 for 300 pages. However, for black and white printing, it's expensive compared to a Brother TN315BK toner cartridge that yields 6,000 pages for $80. Keep in mind, only select HP printers are eligible for instant ink, and they're not what I would use for printing photos, so that service is pointless for me. Calibration and cleaning cycles wasting lots of ink is true. The cleaning cycle is needed if you don't use your ink often enough, causing it to dry at the print heads. When the printer cleans it, it pushes a bunch of fresh ink out to force the drying. That wasted ink goes into another cartridge. Most people don't even realize this has to be changed after a while. This is mainly why your inkjet printer cartridge that's supposed to have 300 page yield can end up printing only 50 if you only use it once a month. I'm well aware that it's even cheaper than Costco refilling myself. I don't want to buy the tools or deal with the possibility of getting ink on myself. I'm sure most people would rather not deal with that and spend a few dollars. Costco also uses good quality ink. Trust me when I say using cheap ink will be a pain in the ass. If you choose to refill yourself, always buy the high quality ink. Normally, it's better to refill the OEM cartridges instead of the aftermarket ones. Who uses home printers anymore? People who don't have an office job, wants higher quality prints, wants the convenience, don't want to pass their personal expense onto their employer, don't want to deal with public facilities, hassles, and problems, old computers, wrong/old applications, waiting, not the right printers, etc. Prefer reading on paper, realize swans can be gay. If you're looking for a cheap monochrome printer, then try the Brother HL L2340DW. It's currently my favorite cheap laser jet. Only $90 and comes with wireless as well as duplex printing. HP loves to charge you big money for this feature. The OEM high-yield 2600 page toner is only $45, and I'm sure third-party toners are even cheaper. So for under $150, you can print for 5+ years if you print less than 50 pages per month. And most likely, no repairs or maintenance needed. When your toner gets low and starts fading, take it out and shake it. It'll probably go for another 50 to 100 pages. Never shake a baby, but always shake a toner. If you're looking to print an amazing, brilliant photo, take a look at metallic paper. I found it on Red River. It's my go-to photo paper, but it's expensive. I use a Sony A7R11 with Zeiss 85mm and 35mm. The combination of the Zeiss lens making the color pop in the metallic paper gives the photo almost a 3D effect. Some people will have problems with laser printers tripping your circuits on startup, as it requires a lot of power to heat up and shoot lasers like Star Wars. If that happens, try plugging your laser printer into your kitchen outlets. Circuits in the kitchen are often built to be able to handle more power for good reasons. I know my kitchen has 20A versus 15A for my living room. For basic color printing, I recommend $200 Brother HL3170CEW digital color printer with wireless networking and duplex. This is a laser printer and will be a workhorse. There's a cheaper version with no duplex printing for $178. If you want a professional quality photo printer without paying the price, I still have not seen a better printer than Canon Pixma Pro 100. There are people having problems with the feed or the heads malfunctioning, so take that into account. However, I've had the printer for about 2 years and it has not failed me once. If you have a local micro center, then buy it there and get the no hassle insurance for peace of mind. Else, buy it on Amazon and return it if you see problems. The ink cartridges are expensive, but the yield is decent. There are seasonal sales that will drop the price to the $200 to $300 range. Nothing performs this good in this price range. The next step up would be over $1,000, and that's a massive leap for most people, including enthusiasts. This is my opinion, and I'm sure some people will disagree. For those asking about office printers for actual office use, not just the name, then I would go with HP. If budget is a problem, then Brother or Canon is good. I don't like Epson as I did not have a good experience with them. Just my anecdotal evidence. You will find these printers on the business section of their website. But what's more important is knowing duty cycles of office printers. You will find this on the product page or the product manual/info PDF you can find on their website. Just note, I like HP for business simply because it's quick and easy to get service/support/parts if you need it. They seem to have printers for every type of office and many vendors to choose from. This is their market after all. There are 3 important numbers: maximum monthly duty cycles, recommended max average duty cycles, lifetime duty cycles. The most useful number should be recommended max average duty cycles. If you do not know how much you print, you can estimate by counting how many boxes of paper your office went through. The most accurate way is to get that statistics right on the current computer. All of the HP at my office can print out these stats, and I was able to accurately and confidently recommend upgrades to our printers. Our printers were breaking down because it was used way more than the recommended average. We did an upgrade and load balance, assigned X number of users per printer. Can you sell empty cartridges? Yes, you can, but I don't know how you can do it as an individual. But I do know those people/businesses that collect them from you will sell it to the third party that refills them and resell it back to you at a discounted price. The only exception I know of where a business, usually specialty shop/site, will buy it from you directly is really expensive cartridges for high-end photo printers. They also refill and resell. They also require you to send in your empty cartridge or you pay the core charge. It's the same thing AutoZone does when you buy parts like alternators. For those new aspiring photographers, and there seems to be a dime a dozen these days, a good printer is as important as choosing the right photo paper. Also, equally important, which many ignored, is downloading and choosing the right ICC printer profiles, or you can create your own. There are ICC profiles for both OEM papers and third-party photo papers. And god damn it, get the right monitor, calibrate it, and calibrate your printer as well. But like I said earlier, the Canon Pro 100 needed by far the least calibration of any prosumer printer I've ever used. Oh my god. I did not know that it was possible to be that passionate about ink and printers. I actually had to take a break and go back and do a little bit of math there. Because as I'm reading this, I'm like, my god, this guy is just rambling on and on. That was 3 pages in the script and 1,400 words total. This guy literally posted an essay on Reddit about ink and how to refill it. Not knocking the passion, but man, I have to be probably the only person that actually read that post all the way through, and that's because I have to. So, listeners, you're welcome. And also, my personal biggest takeaway from that, one thing that actually did stand out, is that I had no idea that outlets in the kitchen are specifically made to sustain stronger surges than outlets throughout the rest of the house. So that's a good tidbit of information. The rest of it, I'm not going to lie, I'm not knocking the passion. That was all a bunch of gibberish to me. I have no idea what he's talking about. But maybe it'll help someone else out. Anyway, let's move on. Story 13. Disclaimer. I'm someone in the alcohol industry, and most of this information that I have amassed over the years of talking to other industry professionals who may or may not represent those brands. There's no secret to low-calorie drinking. Alcohol equals calories. All light beer is just lower in alcohol. because the amount of alcohol in a beer is relative to the amount of fermentable sugars put into it. I assume it's cheaper to make. You pay the same for Budweiser as Bud Light, despite a 0.8% difference. Then, because it's lower in alcohol, you drink more. That means you're also buying more. This is largely why every light beer has been pushed and allowed to flourish, while the original beers are in decline. There are some differences, however. Michelob Ultra, Bud Light, and Guinness are all 4.2% in alcohol, while they each contain 92, 110, and 125 calories per 12-ounce serving, respectively. Personally, I just don't see the value in paying more for less calories when you can just buy regular old Budweiser, add about 10% water, and create your own watered-down beer and retain this logic. So many products created in Europe are changed to be sent to America. Mostly, they just make them sweeter. This goes for inexpensive items such as Strongbow, who, after finally asking themselves why they're trying to sell a dry English cider in the US, came out with Strongbow Golden Apple, which is much sweeter. The same goes all the way up to brands like High Note, but not really. Champagnes such as Moët, whose entry level is about $40, not vintage. Imperial Brut has a higher dosage, more sugar, for the US than its European counterpart. It's not even a brute by contemporary
Nice.
standards, which Americans also don't know/care about. Speaking of envy champagne, there was once a time when the proud French folk would age all their envy champagnes to the same high standards as vintage champagnes, which must be aged at least 3 years. Then they realized Americans not only don't care, in fact they prefer it with less toasty yolk. So now you're paying for a Veuve Clicquot that's been aged for half the time, yet you're paying the same amount. Also, the vodka/rum/whiskey loves to push flavors on you because up until the advent of Captain Morgan, liquors had to be 80 proof, 40%. Captain Morgan argued that because they were diluting it with flavors, it should be less. Now you pay the same amount for 70 proof, 35%
Come
flavored
on.
spirits, or sometimes even lower for light vodkas. And those handcrafted artisan whiskeys, produced by large whiskey mills in the Midwest and Canada, then sold to a third party to be bottled and marketed. Granted, this has always happened with blended scotch, American whiskeys, and Caribbean rums, but it's entirely different when Four Roses is making 100% of the light for Diageo. And if you ever want to break your lush aunt's heart, take her to Italy to the Santa Margherita Pignogriogio wine estate sometime. Except you can't, because it doesn't exist. It comes from proprietorially sourced vineyards from wherever and then marketed as expensive. And everything else that's popular has at some point been bought out by some massive parent company and then had costs slashed to pieces right before being marketed through the roof for the same price or more. Story 14. Don't know how much of a secret it is, but when I was studying CS and game dev in school, this was something I learned that turned me away from working in the game dev industry. In game dev, there's a thing called crunch time, where the project is approaching the date it needs to be completed by in order to be released. During this time, employees are basically expected to work heavily extended hours. 80-hour weeks are not uncommon. Keep in mind, this is all unpaid OT. It's been proven that these sorts of hours are actually detrimental
Come
to the
on.
project's quality due to the constantly exhausted state of those working on it. Game developers typically don't have pay equivalent to other jobs with similar skill sets either. It's truly a labor of love. As much as I want to make games, I value my free time, and I want to have free time for my family when I have one.
Come
So
on.
those
Shit.
kinds of schedules just wouldn't work. I long for the day when publishers would be run by gamers and game developers, not businessmen looking solely to turn a profit. Story 15. A lot of people believe a lot of crazy crap that simply isn't true. And I'm not sure if it's the consumer or if it's the industry who propagate the myth sometimes. If they can offer it at a discount for 1 month of the year, quite often it's because you're paying over the odds the other amount. Of course, end of line sales are what they are, but sales are normally profitable. Diamonds are not rare. That was a lie by this De Beers company you might have heard of. If she's prepared to leave you over a diamond, she doesn't really love you. Deal with it. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. That was a lie by this Kellogg guy you might have heard of. The secret ingredient is probably a spice, and probably paprika or cumin at that. If it isn't, it probably is salt or sugar or MSG. Gold is not inherently valuable, and its actual open market value is actually far more volatile than people assume. Turning it off and on again is not just an excuse. It puts the machine into a known state, making diagnosis easier. That food is bad for you, and the people telling it to you don't care if you die from it, as long as you don't do it right here. right now where they have to deal with it. Most politicians actually believe what they're saying. You call it lying, but they don't think they are, or believe the truth you present is less important than the truths they present. It's disagreement, not corruption. Used car salesmen generally don't want to get bad reputations, and so don't want you to have regrets a month later. Stop assuming they don't care in all cases. Yes, there are bad apples, but most want you to come back again next time you're looking. Crappy lawyers are often good lawyers with crappy clients, or working in the confines of crappy laws. Most celebrities don't write their own books. Ghostwriting works for people who love to write, but can't make enough money getting published with their own works. The celebrities, the publisher, and the people who want to read about the lives of celebrities. So stop complaining about it. That car, handbag, watch, phone, laptop, whatever it is you've been lusting after, it won't help. It won't make you happier. It won't make you better at your job or fix the problems at home. The life in the advert won't become your life. The life you imagine will not happen. The only way to fix things is to love people more. Love is always the answer. And a couple of other bonus thoughts. It's not 10,000 hours that will make you brilliant. It's having the
Hey,
motivation to put in 10 hours a day
that's
for
it.
1,000 days straight, or only 5 hours a day for
Third
200
max out
days.
from
In any
level
given
9.
profession, about a
Now
third of
let's
people will
see.
consider it a job and only a job,
Can
a
we
third
PB?
a career, and a third a calling. You'll be surprised to hear these ratios apply just as much for cleaners in hospitals as it does for the doctors in the same hospital. Story 16. Remember when you played that escape room game that one time and you got so close to escaping but just barely ran out of time? Yeah, virtually every team gets to that point. The game pacing and structure is almost certainly designed that way, unless you're playing one of the really competitive official franchise escape games. The problem is that escape room players almost always report that they had positive experiences if they think they just barely missed out on success, even if the game itself wasn't very good. So most companies, especially independent ones, require their in-room technicians to ensure that players reach a certain point in the game, either through hinting or suggestions, or sometimes even altering slash removing puzzles altogether. An in-room technician who's good at their job will be able to help out in a way that makes it seem like it was the players who figured it all out, when in reality they did virtually nothing. Unless you're a truly terrible team, or really annoying and pushy, you're almost guaranteed.
Ah, come on. Somehow this looks much worse. Third.
And pushy, you're almost guaranteed to just barely miss out on escaping. I wouldn't say this is necessarily a bad thing, but after working in escape rooms for about 3 months, I realized how truly artificial the majority of the experience is. Now, obviously, this doesn't go for all escape games, but most escape companies are perfectly happy to sacrifice the integrity of the game for customer satisfaction and better reviews. Story 17. Many people view academia as this wonderful place where science